Hi everyone. So a lot of you asked me a lot of TTM related questions, so I figured I would address a lot of those as best I can with this video. First of all, you want to know how to send your TTMs. Basically, it's a real simple process. You just type up a quick letter to whoever you're sending to. Um, I mean, I use like a kind of like a default where I like type up a basic letter and then like swap out the name, and then that's pretty much it. Like sometimes I add like a little bit of an extra line to make it more personal, but it doesn't have to be really anything fancy. You can just say like, "Dear whoever you're writing to, I'm a big fan. Um, you know, I would like your autograph. I really liked this thing that you did. Thanks for your time." And then kind of just put your name at the bottom. Maybe tell them a little bit about yourself. Um, Maybe add multiple things that you liked that they did. It doesn't really have to be that extravagant. Usually, like my letters are usually like a page because I usually add questions at the bottom for them to answer if they have time. So you can do that as well. Add some questions for them to answer. I think that's fun because I mean a lot of them don't do it, but there's always that chance. So I just throw them out there. Um, as far as like how to send a TTM, you're basically gonna write the letter, and then you're going to get an envelope. You can use depending on what you're sending. If it's a card, you can just get like a standard white envelope, and then they make like littler white envelopes, which I don't have it on me right now, but there's basically you just get a standard white envelope and then look for the next size down of white envelopes, and you can put the little envelope inside the big envelope with your letter and your cards, and just kind of uh, let your post office kind of take care of it. What you do is on the big envelope that contains everything, you're going to want to put the person's address you're sending to as the main address, and then you're going to put your address up in the upper corner. Um, and then for the little envelope, the return, it's obviously going to be your address in the big bottom, like the center, and then like up in the upper corner, you put whatever address you sent to originally. Um, Basically, that's it as far as like sending cards and stuff. The only thing that I would advise against is like the really glossy cards. Like I'll see if this shows up. I don't know how well it will show up, but like I don't know if you can see that, but if you see the little streak there, um, that's not good. It's because this is a glossy card, so it kind of streaked, and that's kind of the risk you run if you send cards. So I kind of have stayed away from cards now. As much as it's cool to like have a signature like on an actual card, and like this turned out pretty well. I mean, I can't really complain, but I've had a lot worse than this. This was just accessible, so I grabbed it to show. Um, but like basically, I have been using these. I'll just show you this. This I got this like last week. You can find these cards on theautographcard.com. That's theautographcard.com. And they have multiple styles. I really like that Hall of Fame style, but they also have like the wrestling. They have football ones, which I also have. I didn't bring them down here for the video, but they have football, they have hockey, they have softball, baseball, pretty much any sport that you could imagine, MMA, etc. So I just use those because the thing about them is they're not glossy, so you're gonna get like a clean signature every time. It's like a guarantee. I mean, so I just use these now, and they're relatively cheap. Like I said, you can find them on theautograph.com. and so I just use those. But if you want to, you know, send cards, that's fine. Just look for cards that don't really have a lot of gloss on them. There are ways to prep glossy cards with like using an eraser and then like wiping the eraser off, or some people I think use powder or something and then wipe that off. But that to me is like super risky, especially like sending it through the post office. If their machines pick up on like particles on the card or anything, you might be in some trouble. So I just stay away from that, and I just have been using the autograph cards that I just showed you. So that's what I use for card related things. As far as like bigger items, you're gonna want to pretty much follow like the same process, except for like I ran into this issue the other day. I was sending a UFC glove, and basically what happened was I thought that I could just put the UFC glove in the box with the the letter and stuff like that, and just have them print a return label, stick the return label in the bottom of the box, and it would just they would be able to use the same box and stick the return label on top of my label, and it would just come back. Well, that's not the case apparently. They don't do that anymore. I think they used to, but what I had to end up doing was use the box to ship it to where it was going, and then I found like a big padded envelope, not the bubble mailers, but like the padded ones, because I don't think they would rub as much as the bubble mailer if you're worried about the like signature rubbing off your item or whatever. In my opinion, I think just the regular padded envelope will do better. So what I had to do is stick that padded mailer that I found inside that big box to act as a return, because they don't print return labels. Now you might be able to work around this with like UPS store or something like that. So I would check there to see if they do return labels, and maybe that would be a lot easier. I don't know. My whole thing is to make it as easy as possible for the person that's signing to make your return more likely to come back. And I even, for big items, not for cards, but for like bigger items, UFC gloves, I've sent mini helmets, etc. I always kind of send a Sharpie along. Sharpie is like most 9 times out of 10, maybe even like 9.5 times out of 10, you're going to get a clean signature with a Sharpie on your item. Some people like paint pens or decos. That's a brand of paint pen, but I don't really use the paint pens because you have to prep them, and then if they sit for like a day or two, it's gonna like ruin the prep, and then the person signing is gonna have to like either prep the pen, or they're just not gonna care because nobody really knows how to prep a paint pen. So they're probably just gonna try and sign it. It's gonna look like horrible, and you're just gonna get bad return. So I don't use paint pens when I do my TTMs. I just use Sharpie if I'm gonna send a Sharpie along. Also, the Sharpie pen is a great tool to use if you're looking for a smaller item like a card or something like that to get autographed. I would send a Sharpie pen along, and that's pretty much all there is for TTMing. If you're doing baseball, you want to use the Bic round stick. That's the Sharpie will bleed through the baseball, so you don't want to use any other pen or whatever besides the Bic round stick, or even the Bic crystal. They're good too. And as far as like finding addresses, fanmail.biz, sports card forum, sportscollectors.net, my website, theautographcave.net, TTM Autographs Galore has some, my Facebook group, The Autograph Cave, the Facebook group, TTM Autographs Galore, Star Tagger you have to pay for, but I love it. I think it's worth it. It's like $5 a month, no big deal. And I don't really know of any other websites besides that for like addresses and so forth. Fanmail.biz is also free, but that's like super outdated and like really hard to navigate, so I wouldn't use that. But that's really all there is to it. You look on one of those websites for an address, find it, and then follow the steps that I talked about earlier, and just send your thing away and hope that it comes back. And just follow us on Facebook, the Autograph Cave. We have a page. We have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group that's private, and then we do giveaways and stuff like that on the Facebook group. And we're gonna start them on the website as well. And the website is theautographcave.net. And we also have this YouTube channel, which we're gonna do podcasts and stuff on in the future. And keep subscribed for more helpful videos and autographing tips. Thank you.